We begin this story at a baseball training day. Cap is the manager and is speaking with the team's owner. He's telling Cap that he must win the pennant this year. A reporter is asking Cap if he has a new pitcher. Then a car crashes through the fence. The car is out of control. Everyone is running for their lives. The steering wheel falls off. The car finally stops. The team surrounds it. Then Cap approaches the car. He tells the driver to get off the field. The driver responds, "Don't you know who I am? My name is Farrell. This is the Chicago Cubs, isn't it?" Cap replies, "So you're Frank Farrell?" Frank responds, "Yep, I'm your new pitcher." Cap tells him to get over there and show me something. Frank walks over to the pitcher's mound. He has a very unusual wind-up style, but it seemed to be very effective. He strikes out the batters every time. Now Cap is impressed with Frank. He walks over and tells Frank to save that arm. Frank responds, "I could do this all day." Cap asks Frank if he's a good batter. Frank steps up to the batter's plate. He hits the ball, and the ball hits the car. The car starts and takes off. Frank runs after the car. He chases the car off the field. Frank ends up in a pool hall. He seems to excel in all sports. Here he calls the 5 ball in the corner pocket, then the 8 ball in the side pocket. Then he puts on his glasses and clears the table. His friends say we've had enough, and they leave. Then Frank tells them he was just getting warmed up. Then Frank is back on the pitcher's mound. It's a game between the Cubs and the Yankees. Frank's special wind-up generates better velocity. He makes it look easy to strike out a batter. A lady in the bleachers is very impressed. Her name is Dolly and a very big baseball fan. Frank is very quick on his feet. He tags out a runner at home plate. Then Frank gets overconfident. He decides to load the bases. He's getting too sure of himself. He calls all the players to the pitcher's mound. They gather around him with curiosity. Cap walks out to investigate. He tells Frank, "You just walked 3 men." Frank tells him, "I know what I'm doing." Frank is planning a strikeout with bases loaded, but the batter hits a home run. The Yankees get a grand slam. Now Cap is very upset with Frank. He warns Frank that he'll never allow that to happen again. Frank blames Cap for shaking his hand too hard. Cap passes out in disbelief. There's a big game coming up. It's between the Giants and the Cubs. A group of sports bettors are rigging the game. They abduct Frank and take him to a hotel. Frank wakes up from the cheering of the abductors. He realizes what's going on and swings into action. He attacks his abductors and escapes. He finds a vehicle and speeds away. The bad guys are chasing him. They are shooting at him. He accidentally drives onto a moving flatbed truck. It's a vehicle transport. Frank is unaware that he's on a flatbed. He keeps honking his horn at the car in front of him. The truck driver hears the horn honking. He stops and walks back to investigate. He's at the rear of the truck. Frank gets into the cab and drives away. All seems lost and the score is 5-5. Frank drives the truck onto the field. He tells Cap he's ready to play. The umpire tells him he has to wear a uniform. Dolly gives him some baggy clothes to wear. They almost look like a uniform. The game starts again with Frank pitching. The Cubs start scoring again. The batter hits the ball to Frank. The ball is somewhere in Frank's baggy clothes. He frantically searches for it. He finally finds the ball. He runs to home plate. He tags the runner out. Now the score is 5-5. Frank is up to bat. He hits a home run. It's touch and go as he heads for home plate. Frank and the ball reach home plate at the same time. Showing his athletic agility, he flies through the air. It's a home run for the Cubs. They win the game thanks to Frank. And to end this story on a happy note, Dolly and Frank get married and live happily ever after. If you enjoyed watching this short version of Alibi Ike, please click the subscribe and like buttons. And thanks for watching.